Hey there, welcome to the tutorial of Laravel Dusk. So Laravel Dusk is an end-to-end browser automation tool provided in the Laravel ecosystem, and it is basically used to create automation tests for your application, web application. Although it is created in Laravel, it is not compulsory that you can only automate Laravel applications through it. In this tutorial series, I will be automating a demo application using Laravel Dusk, and the demo application that I am going to automate is something that is made from Quick Admin Panel. So Quick Admin Panel is a tool that is used to create CRUD applications for you faster. So they have a demo application known as classifieds directory. We will just see what is there in their demo. So this is the demo application. It is just a simple classifieds directory application. They have a list of companies, and we can filter it out based on the category and cities. It also has an admin panel which you can log in, and they have a list of CRUD operations that you can manage from here. So we will be covering this application as a part of our automation testing. So we will start from scratch. We will just clone the repository on our local host, and we will go on from there. So the code is on GitHub. To clone this, I'll just copy this URL. I am now in my terminal and in the code directory. To clone this, I'll just say git clone and the GitHub URL. This will now clone the repository. Now once the repository is cloned, as with any other Laravel project, I will move into the directory. I will copy the environment example file into the environment. Next up, I need to do a composer install on this project since this is a fresh Laravel project. So the composer downloaded all the required dependencies for this project, and we can now open this project in our IDE. I am using VS Code. So this is our project directory, and we have the .env file here. We will just update the database name to be something QAP dusk just for the demo of this project. The username and password remain same. I will create a database with this name in my MySQL. So we created this blank database, and now we are ready to run the migrations. So to run the migrations, we will write php artisan migrate, and this application also provides some seed data to go along with that. So I'll just append seed with this command. So it migrated all the tables and also generated the database seeding. Next up, we will generate the app key. So now everything is done. We should now be able to run the project on our local host. To run the project on the local host, we will just use the serve command provided by Laravel. So php artisan serve, and the development server started on localhost and port 8000. So if we just go into our browser, if we open up this 8000 URL, you see that we have the application now on our localhost, and it does not have any data as of now. The only seed data that we got is of user roles, permissions, and a default user to log in into the admin panel. So we will just log in into the admin panel, and we see that we have different CRUD operations available here. So the application is installed. Now we will just look into a bit of a code to understand what application we are trying to automate. So the application is simple. It has some few models related to the database tables, category, city, company, permission, role, and it also have few controllers. So related to the admin panel, we have the controllers here, and for the authentication we have few controllers. So basically, if you have worked with any Laravel project, the project is very simple, just some basic CRUD operations. If you are looking to just learn Laravel Dusk and you don't understand any part of this thing, that's also fine. We will uncover this as we go ahead. If you are just a test expert looking to learn Laravel Dusk, you are not really required to learn these models and controllers, but it will be good for your automation if you know them. So for now, we will just go ahead and install Laravel Dusk on this project. So if you go into the tests directory, this is where all of your tests go, whether it is a feature test or a unit test or a browser test. So we already have a browser directory created here along with some tests, but we don't really need these tests. These are just basic tests written by quick admin panel for the testing. We will start from scratch, so I will just delete this directory altogether, and we will go into our terminal and we will start the installation of Laravel Dusk. So Laravel Dusk is a package in the Laravel ecosystem, and it's a composer package. The way you install is you write the composer command, composer require Laravel Dusk, and you append it with dev. So always remember, when you're installing Laravel Dusk, install it as a dev dependency. If you leave this, it will also be installed on all of your servers where you move this project on production as well. And Laravel Dusk is not safe to use in production. And there is a reason why, which I will tell you in the later tutorials, but for now just remember, whenever you are installing Laravel Dusk, have this thing in the command so that it is installed as a dev dependency. So you see that composer is downloading the required dependencies of Laravel Dusk project. One of them is Facebook WebDriver. So basically Laravel Dusk is a wrapper around Facebook WebDriver. So this is a library that was made to work with Selenium. So basically a PHP WebDriver to work with Selenium, but it works well with other libraries as well. So Laravel Dusk is just a wrapper around WebDriver. So this makes Dusk makes working with WebDriver very easy. And since now we have installed the Laravel Dusk project, we are now version 5.6. The next command is to run dusk install command, php artisan dusk install. So what this command will do is it will generate the default scaffolding and will also download the Chrome driver binaries. By default, Laravel Dusk uses Chrome as a browser to run the automation test, and to work with Chrome you require a Chrome driver that runs your automation test. So for that it needs some binaries that works on different environments, for Mac, for Linux, for Windows. So this will download all the binaries no matter on which machine you're running your automation test. It should work fine given that you have a proper browser installed. So the Chrome driver binary that it installed is for version 78, and you have a version match for Chrome driver and the Chrome. So Chrome driver of a particular version only works on a Chrome browser of a particular version. So this all is done. We'll just move to the VS Code and we'll see what have we actually got. So this is the browser directory that is installed by Laravel Dusk, and we have an example test as well. So example test, this is a basic test and the basic structure of a Laravel Dusk test. In here if you see that we have a single method that says test basic example, and we also have a way to how to write a simple Laravel Dusk test. So what's going on here is we are visiting the home page and we are asserting to see that we see this text on the home page. So let's just try to run this code and let's see if it actually works. So the way we run the Laravel Dusk test is write the command php artisan dusk. This command will run all the tests in your application. So right now we have a single test, so it will run that. And it fails. The reason being it does not see the expected text Laravel within the body. So if you go back to the home page where we are trying to look for the text, there is no Laravel text there. So we will assert for something that is actually available there. So let's assert if this text is available. So we will update the test to see if Laravel finds this text. We will run the test again. And it fails again. So the reason is, if you go into the .env file of the project, you will see that the app URL mentioned here is app localhost, and the URL that on which our application is working is localhost 8000. So basically Laravel Dusk relies on this app URL to fire up the browser and open the relative URLs that we are giving here, and we need to update it to localhost 8000. We will save this and run the test again. And it passes. So we have now been able to run the first Laravel Dusk test. It visits the home page and it asserts to see that it finds this text. So remember that when you are running the Dusk test, update the URL app URL to the actual URL on which your development environment is running. So in this video we covered how to install Dusk on a Laravel project, and also we covered how we can run Laravel Dusk test. In the next video I will show you how to write your first automation test, and we will write some test for the authentication of the application. So we will automate how a user can log in or log out and different aspect around the authentication. That's it for now.